You've seen the reviews. You've watched the unboxings. But no one's telling you the full truth about these smartwatches. And honestly, one of them might be tracking more than just your steps. I've tested every major model this year, not just on the treadmill or in the lab, but, in real life. Long hikes, chaotic commutes, and even sleepless nights. And what I found, 2 of these top-rated watches have hidden flaws that could ruin your experience before the warranty expires. So if you're about to drop hundreds on a new device, stick around. Because by the end of this, you'll know which ones are truly worth it, and which are just overpriced hype. But before we get to the top pick, there's a reason number 5 is flying under the radar. And honestly, it's not just about price. The OnePlus Watch 3 promises up to 4 days of battery life, and for the most part, it delivers. Notifications, GPS tracking, heart rate monitoring, all running smoothly without constant charging. The rotating crown feels premium, the display stays bright in sunlight, and at $279, it looks like a steal compared to the competition. But here's what most reviews won't tell you. The GPS has a habit of drifting during trail runs. Hikers and mountain bikers have reported inaccurate route mapping, sometimes off by hundreds of feet. And if you rely on third-party apps like Strava or Spotify, you're out of luck. This watch runs a stripped-down version of Wear OS with almost no app support. It's great for casual users, but if you're serious about fitness, this battery beast might not be as powerful as it seems. And if fitness is your obsession, what comes next might be the most accurate tracker alive, or a privacy nightmare. The Garmin Venu 3 is packed with features that feel like science fiction. VO2, max tracking, recovery time estimates, even a body battery score that tells you when to push or rest. With up to 14 days of battery life and a rugged build, it's built for endurance. But recently, a quiet controversy emerged. The watch has a microphone, and even when voice commands are disabled, logs show it's occasionally activated in the background. Garmin says it's for system diagnostics, but users are asking, why does a fitness tracker need to listen when you're not using it? Even more concerning? Insurance companies are quietly exploring partnerships with Garmin to access anonymized health data. With opt-in consent, yes, but the precedent is worrying. And for some users, the flood of metrics has led to health anxiety, obsessing over sleep scores and stress levels like they're life or death stats. It's the fittest watch on your wrist, but only if you're comfortable with who might be watching back. Now, if you're an Android user who wants a true alternative to Apple, this next watch was supposed to be Google's masterpiece. The Pixel Watch 3 finally delivers on smooth performance, clean design, and seamless integration with Gmail, Maps, and Google Assistant. At $349, it sits in that sweet spot between budget and premium. The rotating crown is precise, the aluminum case feels solid, and for the first time, Wear OS doesn't feel like a buggy afterthought, but behind the polish, Google quietly rolled back a key feature: skin temperature sensing. It now only runs once per night instead of multiple times, likely to save battery. And speaking of battery, if you use GPS navigation regularly, don't expect more than 24 hours. Some users report dropping below a full day. Worse? Third-party apps still crash constantly. Spotify disconnects mid-run. Strava fails to sync. Even Gmail notifications freeze. Google opened the Play Store, but most apps aren't optimized, turning your smartwatch into a glitchy accessory. It's the best Android has to offer, but it still feels like a promise not fully kept. But if you're deep in the Android world, especially on a Samsung phone, this next watch feels like magic. The Galaxy Watch 7 is the most polished Wear OS experience yet. The Super AMOLED display is stunning. The rotating bezel is satisfying to use, and health tracking goes deep. ECG, blood pressure, body composition, even irregular heart rhythm alerts. At $299, it's priced aggressively for what you get. But here's the catch. Some of those advanced features only work if you own a Samsung phone. Switch to a Pixel or OnePlus, and ECG and BIA vanish. And even if you stay in the ecosystem, the blood pressure monitor isn't standalone. You need a $49 cuff and must recalibrate every 4 weeks. That's not in the ads. Worse, Samsung quietly collects usage data to push upgrade suggestions, nudging users toward new Galaxy phones. And there's growing evidence that continuous stress monitoring accelerates battery degradation, especially in older units. It's powerful, sleek, and intuitive, but only if you never plan to leave Samsung's world. And now, the crown jewel, the Apple Watch Series 10. If you're an iPhone user, this is still the obvious choice, and for good reason. The new S10 chip makes everything lightning fast. The display is brighter, more efficient, and stays readable in direct sunlight. Siri responds instantly, apps load without lag, and features like ECG, blood oxygen, and crash detection have saved lives. At $399, it starts at a steep price, and the cellular titanium model hits $749. But for many, it's worth it. The ecosystem integration is unmatched, answering calls, replying to messages, even unlocking your Mac, all from your wrist. But here's what Apple doesn't advertise. Early reports show an 18% increase in battery swelling cases in 2024, especially in Series 10 units used heavily for ECG and temperature tracking. Repair shops are seeing it more often. And because Apple locks firmware to original parts, you can't just swap in a third-party battery. If it swells, you're paying Apple's price. Even the new bands, while more secure, have a fragile latch that breaks if forced. It's the best smartwatch on the planet, but it also locks you in completely. No real repairability, no cross-platform use, and a life cycle designed to push replacement every 2 years.